Howdy folks, Jacob out here at the Paulette Farm, and today we're across the road on the main side of the farm, and what I want to show you guys is the old chicken barn. So this is going to be our next project, or as Kaylin likes to put it, our next crazy project over the winter. So we're going to take this old chicken barn, which I honestly don't remember the last time it's had chickens in it, and for my lifetime it's basically just been a storage barn, but we're going to take it and modify it and turn it into the brooder for our operation next year. So let's go ahead and take a tour inside real quick. So like I was mentioning earlier, this has basically been a storage barn within my lifetime. Now I know my great-grandparents used to run laying hens out of here. Because I remember talking with my great-aunt Alice when she was a little girl. It used to be her job to go out and collect the eggs and wash them and stuff like that. But like I said, right now it's just basically storage. So it's got some old vehicles. It's got my Grandpa Leon's old Model A that I've got to get out and cleaned up. And that's actually going to go up to my sister's house in Springfield. So that'd be a later adventure. There's just some old furniture, some old equipment. I've got to do a little bit of work on one of the windows. I think one of the windows got knocked out by the cows. Fairly low overhead, but that shouldn't be a problem. The big things we're going to have to change is once we get it all cleaned out, just making sure the concrete's still in good shape. There's a little bit of structural cracking in it. I don't think anything that's going to affect, the stability of the building. It's more worrying about snakes or small animals getting in, attacking the baby chicks or poults or goslings or ducklings or whatever we decide to brood in here. The other thing we'll need to do is probably put a little bit of plywood on the bottom. That way we can do deep bedding in here, put like wood chips and stuff like that we can then shovel out and do in compost. The other issue we're going to have is this barn is currently not hooked up to any kind of power. So I will need to run some kind of light source in here. May on the center rafter running down the center of the barn here, I may put some conduit and some electrical outlets. That way I can drop. Don't really want to do heat lamps out here if I can help it, but like heated plates for the babies and just having power to hook into. Have to figure out where I'm going to tie into the power out here on the farm. There's electrical lines just outside the barn, but I'd rather not drop another meter if I can help it. So I'll have to talk with Dad and Uncle Herbie and kind of figure out, if I can get it hooked into the barn lot's power or if there's a better way of doing it. But yeah, like I said, it's going to take some work to get it cleaned out, but I'll be on Christmas break from my town job here about mid-December. So it'll be perfect time to go through. Hopefully I can get the Model A and Dad's old Honda out by then and start getting a lot of the smaller stuff. Biggest problem is just figuring out what all the stuff or who all the stuff belongs to. With 5 families on the farm, some of the stuff, there may be 12 owners of stuff in here. So just making sure I find everybody, that the stuff belongs to and let them know that I'm moving it, finding a different place on the farm to store some of it, or like I said, taking some of it to other family members that are off the farm now. But my goal is by the time we start brooding, end of February, beginning of March, to have this up and running, have it so that we can have baby chicks or goslings, ducklings, poults, whatever we're wanting to do poultry-wise, and be able to up our production, because that was our biggest bottleneck this last year, is we could only brood about 70 baby chicks at a time, and then when we had goslings, the geese kind of blocked our production schedules. That's why, if you're one of our customers, you wondered why we didn't have chicken at the end of the year. We didn't have enough time by the time we got the goslings in and got them out of the brooder. There wasn't enough time left in the year to really get chickens in. We might have been able to squeeze in one more, but end of July, we were figuring we were going to be cold, wet, and miserable this time of year. Of course, we didn't get chicken, so it's been nice and sunny for the most part. A little cool, but as far as like November goes, this has been a really mild winter so far. I'm sure we'll pay for it, January, February when we're working on this. I'm sure it'll be cold, miserable, and icy, but it's one of those things. We would have ordered chicks, we would have had snow for like Halloween or something. This just seems to be how it goes. But yeah, so we'll post some update videos over the next few months as we work on this, and then hopefully in the spring when we get our first batch of whatever babies we get first. That's the other thing we've got to look at now is production schedule. So if we have the brooder space done, I'm going to need to build more chicken tractors so that we have the room to take them out into pasture once we get them done in here. But anyways, that just kind of gives you an idea of our next crazy project, as Kaylin would put it. So thank you for joining us, and just kind of keep an eye on the channel, and we'll put more updates as we make progress. All right, well, everyone have a good one.